All right, well back. Thanks. I hope everybody enjoyed the music. We're kicking the graphics up a notch. Here we've got Ori and the Blind Forest, and due to your donations, the randomizer has been bumped up as well to expert difficulty. Are you ready, Shafe?
I am absolutely ready. Thank you very much, Manix. This is indeed Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, free DLC that was released about a year after the original, I think. And we have developed a randomizer for it. It's a fantastic speedrun. This actually sort of doubles as a bit of a showcase for the rando, because we have a tournament that's just around the corner. It's a doubles tournament. And if you're interested in checking that out, it's going to be happening over at Ori Speedrunning on Twitch. And if you like what you see here, of course, OriRando.com as well. I'll be plugging all that stuff as we go through it. So, Expert Randomizer, thank you so much to meeting that before the run even started, the marathon, that is. I loaded up a Mad's run at the start of the day, and it was already met. Knew I was going to be playing Expert. Thank you guys so much for contributing to that. You're going to notice here the difficulty in the game file is been modified for the rando purposes. It says relaxed, challenging, punishing, which is casual, normal, hard. And you might be thinking, okay, well, what does expert mean? Well, expert means the logic that we're going to be playing. It's not actually the game difficulty itself. So I load up on normal, but we're going to be playing on the expert logic of the randomizer. This has a few fundamental changes that we'll talk about as we go through. Most notably, it's going to expect you to do some speedrun tricks and a little bit of extra knowledge about the way that the game functions. For our normal difficulty and casual difficulty even, we do not have any expectation of speedrun knowledge. It's the normal difficulty is more of a rando knowledge thing than a speedrun knowledge, but expert is like, okay, you've run the game, you know what you're doing, you know how to do charge dash attack and stomp pounces and all that stuff. So now you get to go and explore the video game with all that you've learned in the speedrun. And it could potentially be a bit of a troll in terms of what the game expects, but that's why we like it. We like the extra bit of difficulty on it. So first things that we are going to be looking for here, we're basically going to be playing what is known as a forest trees mode, which means that we have to visit all of the 10 vanilla skill tree locations. You can see the tracker in the bottom left of the game screen there. It goes all the way from wall jump to double jump, bash, dash, stomp, all that. All the skills that you would collect normally in the game, just you put that tracker up on there. But we have to go visit all of the vanilla skill locations in the game. That's what the forest trees mean. Doesn't mean that the skills are going to be there, otherwise it wouldn't be randomized. We're going to be looking for skills elsewhere. I'm also playing on what is known as the competitive item pool. All that basically means is that the two main dungeons that we'll be visiting, Horu and Ginzo, hopefully not Forlorn, but maybe Forlorn, those cannot be accessed via a teleporter pickup. You actually have to get the dungeon key for that. And lastly, Clues is going to be the mode. There you see Expert, Clues, Forest Trees. Clues means that every third skill tree that we visit, the game is going to give us a clue as to where one of those dungeon keys is located. And this is actually one of the things that is added into Expert. This swim to pick up Glide would not be in standard logic, but it is an Expert, I believe, with 4 HP, but you can do it with 3. So just a little bit of a knowledge expansion type thing that you're expected to do. Glide is very nice to have. Air stall for the late game areas is very nice to have. And we divide our pursuit of the trees essentially in sort of 3 stages. We have the early game expectation. I'm going to double back here. I want to perform a trick. We have the early game expectation. After I perform the trick, I'll get back into that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pause the game the moment this grenade lands on the platform. And what that's going to do is that it's going to persist the physics in the pause menu of the momentum. No, that's not it. And it's going to swing me up on this platform. Nope. So we have our early game, which is basically we're looking to find our initial set of skills that's going to allow us to access the right side of the map, most of the right side, whereupon we have 7 trees that we want to acquire. There we go. You can see the platform skittering off to the side. Then we have sort of our mid-game, which is finding the dungeon keys and the skills that we're going to need to actually beat the game, and then stage 3 is beating the game. So right now I have Glide and I have Grenade. I don't have any form of wall interaction, which makes things a little bit interesting. Not a whole lot of pickups that you can get here in the early on, other than that trick for the Grenade pickup. And it's really good to have Grenade this early, honestly, because there are some pickups that can be locked behind Grenade and Stop. Wow, both of them right away. Those are the only 2 skills in the game that actually hard lock pickups. There are some lanterns in the game that can only be lit by Grenade, and there are some pegs in the game that can only be pressed down with Stomp. We do have some other tricks with Bash and enemy lures to be able to stomp some pegs down for us, but there are some that you can't access without Stomp at all. So having both of those skills is actually really comfy to have early on. I no longer have to worry about anything important being locked behind a skill that I don't have. So now we're going off to the wall jump area, because this is about actually all we have access to. Actually, there's one pickup I should have checked. You see when you get early Grenade, it means you need to go to Charge Flame Tree. I'm going to place a save here. If this ends up costing a bit of time, that's okay. I got distracted talking about the logic. So a little bit of a double back here, but we don't have wall interaction, and the first skill that you get in the game, down over there at the wall jump tree, is, surprise, surprise, wall jump. Which, as you can imagine, gates a lot of progress in the base game. But in the randomizer, we do have ways that we can go about, I'll just go back and get that if I need it, bypassing things without needing wall interaction, which can be nice. It can also be a little bit stupid, because there are some dumb things that you can do, and by dumb I mean fun, because, you know, it's always fun to sequence break stuff and do things in unintended ways. So if I recall correctly, I don't have a teleporter other than Glades. I don't, so this has to be something. So either has to be a teleporter or a skill. It's Wind Restored, which gets me exactly 1 pickup. 1. This is a bit of a troll start, I'm not gonna lie. Glide hidden down in the water. Stomp is actually, I was talking about that water pickup requiring 4 health to get. Stomp is one of the other things that you can get, because it increases your acceleration into the water, and so that puts that pickup into logic. Coyote frame? Yeah, we're good. So there is exactly 1 pickup that is available now with Glide and Wind Restored. And that is this one over here. Because it turns out the wind, even though it isn't animated there, and it's wall jump, yeah, okay. Even though it's not quite animated over those brambles, you can actually catch the wind and glide up. The grapple beam of Ori Rando? No, that's in Will of the Wisps. Will of the Wisps actually has a grapple. So this is the first instance of Save Anywhere. Save Anywhere is the primary glitch that we are going to be using in the base speedrun and also in the randomizer. It has a bunch of different functions for us. The main one that we're going to be using it for, though, is to skip cutscenes. You are not allowed to skip cutscenes normally, but with the Save Anywhere trick, what we can do is that we can open up the game's ability menu, which is supposed to be paused, but we can trick the game into thinking that we've closed it. Therefore, the game unpauses. Therefore, we can move behind the ability menu, and when you level up an ability, you can save. And as it turns out, that means that you can, in fact, save anywhere. And so what we do very often is that we'll cross into cutscenes, and once they're triggered, we save, and there you go, the cutscene is registered as played, and so we can just skip it. You'll notice now as I go through here, this cutscene that's supposed to play here, the slow zone persists, but the cutscene is gone. And thank you for the good luck, everybody. Unlocks 1 check unique. Not quite. There's more checks than that with Grenade and with Stomp. Particularly in Horror, there's a lot of checks in Horror that are Stomp locked. And there's a bunch of Grenade pickups interspersed throughout the world, roughly 1 to 2 per zone. But it isn't just like a 1 pickup thing. Could have lit that lantern with grenade, but I'm actually trying to set up for a cycle over on the right-hand side, if possible. So I don't want to do that. You'll see up here with the experience that I gain, it's going to have randomized names for the experience that I pick up. That's just sort of like a fun thing that we've put into the randomizer. You can enable or disable that in the randomizer settings as you see fit. I've decided to leave it play because there's some reference in there that I really enjoy. This is a bit of a tricky jump. If you don't go fast enough, that laser kills you. And SA is going to, save anywhere that is going to help us again here. There's a cutscene that plays with this pedestal. However, what you can do is that we can open up a save anywhere. You can drop the orb, which starts the cutscene, and you can reload the game. And the cutscene is going to be playing. And you'll notice that I'm moving while the cutscene is playing. Because what I want to do is I want to check what's behind these crushers. Pro tip, you can walk on top of these crushers. Don't even need dash. They fixed that in Will of the Wisps, by the way. And then we're going to stand in a specific spot right where this sort of juts up a little bit. And that's going to stack onto another cutscene, which is the tree activation cutscene. And because it's stacked, I can move. Even though you can't see me moving, I'm moving. Look, I'm way over here now. And then I drop down, I check what that is. It's an attack upgrade, I don't need it. So I reload the game and save scum it. Save scumming, if you are familiar with that in just even casual playthroughs, such as perhaps Starfield, if you've been playing that recently. You do a thing, and then you don't like the thing that happens, so you reload the game, and the thing hasn't happened. And it puts you back wherever you had your save last. And so we use that in the randomizer as well to save a little bit of time. So this is going to be the last in-logic pickup for Expert in the Blackroot Burrows. One more essay to get through here. And the reason for that is going to be evident when this boulder that you think is going to kill me doesn't kill me. For whatever reason, saving after the boulder hits the ground despawns the hitbox. No idea why. Now, I would normally be very concerned about keeping this Frankie alive, but I actually don't particularly care. Because we can use him to stomp a 4 for us over to the left, but I have stomped, so I don't have to worry about it. And most enemies respawn in this game. He is one of them that doesn't, and so we have given him a name. His name is Marvin. He can be a jerk. So, placing another save there just real quick on the teleporter, because after I check this keystone, I won't be able to actually climb back up, but there is a stomp peg over here, which I'm going to make use of, because I'm going to check a few things in Grotto real quick. Kind of hoping...
It's a good time. We've got a dedicated dad joke to you.
Oh, yes, perfect.
Now's a good time?
Yeah.
Broken Dylan donates $5, also for a great cause, because killing the animals is just a good life choice.
True, true.
And they say, did you hear about the explosion at the Cheesecake Factory? All that was left was debris.
Oh, debris. I see what you did there. Thanks, Dylan.
Keep on donating, and back to you, Shayfe.
Yep, and feel free to interrupt me anytime, by the way.
I will, just to say that I love that you talked about saves coming. A bunch of my friends play a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic, and we're always scared to botch a fight. When we engage with the enemies, we're always like, oh, let's just save scum this one.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping to basically get an additional skill with the sequence break. I'm not expecting it, but what I'm going to do is sort of just take advantage of... Oh, well, hello. It did work out for me. I got Bash. Bash is super powerful. Bash enables me to basically finish the game with this skill set if I really want to. It's not fun to do it with this skill set, but it is possible. There's a lot of things that I have to do that are quite ridiculous, but having Bash in particular combined with Grenade is just, it's... Oh my god, and there's Dash. Okay, the scene's basically over. Oh, There's got to be some trolley place for like the water vein and some sunstone or something, because this just exploded. This is a possible jet seed now. I can't believe that paid off. That mini boss is usually quite slow to do, but because I have dash and stomp, I was just like, okay, well, whatever. I'll go do that, and then I'll finish my cleanup in Glades, and hope I get something there. It happened to work out. That's just wild. Okay. How do I want to do this? Okay, I will check Spirit Caverns because I only have 5 HP and 1 energy, and yeah, I can technically finish the game with this skill set, but I'm on very, very low resources, and I need more things like keystones and, in some cases, ability points for skips, and also skills, because one of the things the game is going to expect me to do with Bash and Dash, is to be able to break blue things by using Charge Dash. That is not something that is in the standard difficulty, the Charge Dash breakage, but it is an expert, and so I'm going to make use of that. Just doing some cleanup here in the wall jump area for resources, like I said, and I'm going to double back to the Spirit Caverns, and yeah, from there, I need to explode into the mid-game, and I have to figure out how I want to do that. I suppose the thing to do here, if I was playing this in a race environment, would be just what we call Lumberjack mode. And we call it Lumberjack because, as mentioned, all of the vanilla skill locations are skill trees, with the exception of Feather. So, trees, Lumberjack, 1 + 1 = 5 for extremely large values of 1. And, yeah, experience, this is okay. I don't mind this. This is going to get me another ability point. I do not have... Yeah, I do technically have right-side access with that, thingy, whatchamacallit, the Stomp Peg over on Blackroot. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go to the Charge Flame tree now, since that's open and available to me, and that gets me my 3 sort of mid-map, trees right away, and it's also going to give me my first clue. Now, I've picked up the Gumon Seal, which is one of the dungeon keys, which I probably am not going to need to use at this point. But it is possible that the game will just give me a clue for a dungeon key that I already have. So let's see. And in fact, that's exactly what it did. So I got the Gumon Seal, it gave me the clue for the Gumon Seal. So what do you do, I guess? Going back to Blackroot Burrows now, because I do not want to go really up top here just yet. I want to use that as a potential pathing to clean up on my way to the left side of the map. But there's a few things that I can do, and what Dash does, this is Blackroot, and it's the area that you get Dash normally, that dark area that I was up above, just at the start of the seed. And so the game obviously wants to teach you, hey, what can you go ahead and do with this new skill that you've got? And it is do things like get past these lasers without having to try and duck under the hitboxes, and so on and so forth. And we'll stop there for some extra height. In the event I get double jump, I actually do want to keep that. That's really handy to have. No death for you, frog. Just gonna pause here for a quick save. And you can chain your bashes off of things. So I threw up a grenade, and then I passed off another grenade. There's also something called double bashing, which I can showcase off of this frog here if he wants to cooperate. So normally in the game, you bash, and the projectile goes one way, and Ori goes the other way. Like so. But with double bash, which is bashing on the very next frame of your first bash, you can go in the same direction. So, we use that a few times in the speedrun, and in the randomizer it is a very valuable tool to have, and it's actually something that the randomizer will expect of you to be able to utilize in expert mode. Up to 6 times. It doesn't expect you to do infinite double bashes, but it does expect you to do some. I do not have charge dash, so I can't go after that bird. I'm gonna have to do this instead. Which is okay. Just wait out the cycle. I'm not gonna be killing frogs, don't worry about that. Dylan. What do you think I am? A murder sprite? You'd be correct. But this is for a marathon. Alright, so a couple more checks just in case. Like, I'm still looking, obviously, for the other 2 dungeon keys. Like I said, I still want some additional resources. So, some extraneous checks that I probably wouldn't do in a race setting. But I'm also looking to get to Charge Dash, which is actually the next skill that I'm going to level on the ability tree. And that's going to give me rocket jumps. Which, as you can imagine, is super powerful and also super fun. 3 crowns. So that's 4 trees. I need 2 more. How do I want to do this? Is the question. Definitely want to go back to Black Root. I got 3 keystones. Okay, so I'll go to the double jump tree. I'll see if there's anything else there for me. Low on keystones, so I still need to actually check quite a bit. I think what I need for keystones is 2, 2, 4, and 4. So I need about 12 keystones. For sure. Possibly more depending on where things are locked. So, always helpful to do a little bit of clearing. Make sure you have the stuff that you need. And I need 1 more ability point for Charge Dash. And then at that point, with this health actually isn't too bad. I would probably be willing to... Did I get this? Here's a map. I did get that. With this health, I have, especially with Bash and Stomp, I know I have enough health to finish the game. The minimum requirement for health to finish the game is, in the speedrun, 5 health. And that's necessary because of with Bash and Stomp. If you didn't have Bash and Stomp, you'd probably need closer to 7. Because in the speedrun, what we don't do is clean the water. So the water in the final escape is poisoned. And it takes 5 damage in order to be able to get through that. So I have more health than I would in the speedrun, so I'm okay with that. But I don't have double jump, which means I'm probably going to take damage off some more things. So it should be okay, but we'll see. So I don't have 4 energy. You can see the 4 energy door that's over there. But as it turns out, you can ride this block if you climb on it in a very specific way, which is difficult to do. There it is. And you don't need 4 energy, because the block blocks the laser for you. It's quite nice. I need to go turn off the laser though, otherwise I will die. Additional keystone, which is nice. Additional ability point, which is nice. So a couple cutscenes that I want to skip. And we picked up our first mapstone. The way mapstones work in the randomizer versus the base game. The base game, it just reveals the map to you, basically. So it would show this stuff. In the randomizer, we were like, okay, well, we kind of know the game, so we don't really need a map, so how can we make maps more interesting? Well, the way we did that is that we made it sequential on these map alters. So the first, that was 86 experience. So no matter where I turned in that mapstone, if it was, as long as it was my first turn in, I would always get that 86 experience. Charge Flame was kind of a nice quality of life thing, but not really required anymore. And the second mapstone turn-in will be the second thing always. And it is possible for progression and even dungeon keys to be locked on mapstones, so it's something I'm sort of considering in the back of my mind as well. I got all these power skills, which is great and everything, but I don't have the 2 dungeon keys that I'm looking for. Kill me faster! Okay, not fast at all. Still slightly faster. If you die after you put the keystones in the door and place a save, the door will despawn very briefly. So yeah, mapstones are a concern. Where the other dungeon keys are a concern. Vanilla double jump was not a concern, apparently. And I kept that extra double jump, which is a bonus pickup. Bonus pickups are a thing that was included in the randomizer. Actually, no, it's going to be faster to work out here. So bonus pickups like extra double jump, you get temporary mega health, mega energy, extra air dashes, half cost for charge flame and charge dashing, etc., etc. And there's even more ridiculous bonus skills that have been added as well, if you decide that you want to play with that set of items. But for the purposes of this, I am not. But there are some sort of just base quality of life things that are kept in. Other items that are changed? No, not really. Because the only other thing that's really... Yeah, map stones are sort of the only weird, if you will, item in the game. Everything else is a vanilla pickup, whether it's a house cell, dungeon key, energy cell, or experience. Mapstone turn-ins are the only thing that's a little bit different. This is where you would normally get the water vein. Say hi to Gumo. Gumo's cute. There is a rekindle save for this, but I forget what it is, so I'm just going to save anywhere. So rekindling, I might as well talk about that. You see where it says game saved up here? That's just literally saving the game on where I placed my save again. That's called rekindling. You can skip cutscenes using that method as well, other than save anywhere, if you are close enough to the cutscene trigger. And I didn't get my bash off. That's fun. I wanted to open that door, so I'm just going to go get some extra energy. And then go back for it. I'm going to be a little bit thorough here. Like, I could just honestly straight up go to left side. But this is such a powerful skill set, I don't want to finish this in like 30 minutes and then have you guys be like 35 minutes ahead again. So hunting down some resources just for a little bit of marathon safety is something I'm completely fine doing as well. I would 100% be lumberjacking this if I was racing though. Like, I would not be doing these checks. I would just be going straight for trees, get the clues, find out where the dungeon keys are, finish the game. Oh, okay. Yep, that is the fastest left side access I could possibly have found, is just straight up the Sorrow Teleporter. I said I was going to try and make the seed longer, but the seed is actually just fighting me. It wants me to finish this as quick as possible. I still need keystones, though. Keystones are a concern. I have 2, 4, and... Yeah, so I need about 10 keystones in total. And then I think I'm going to just start hitting trees, see what else the game gives me. I did pick up the Grotto Tel... I'm just going to double check that real quick, but yeah, okay, I grabbed. You don't actually get access to the teleporter unless you get it off of a random pickup, or you go and physically touch the teleporter, and I completely forgot whether or not I touched the teleporter or not. So this trick right here was actually found in the randomizer and then implemented into the speedrun, and this is what allows us to skip cleaning the water by going to the top of the Ginzo tree. It's using this frog, bashing him up to the platform, and then taking his projectile to get rid of the ceiling there. And I just think that is so incredibly cool that the randomizer influenced the way that the speedrun developed. And I love that so much. I think that was Covert Muffin that found that, if I'm not mistaken. Might be mistaken.
That's so cool, because usually it's the other way around, right? The randomizer feeds off what speedruns I figured out.
Yeah, typically speaking. But this has gone kind of the other way a little bit. And there's a couple other small things that were discovered in the randomizer as well that were implemented in the speedrun. I don't remember what the other ones are offhand. This is a rocket jump. Okay, so hold on. Hold. I wasn't deceiving you. I just went too low. That's a rocket jump. The way that works is we charge dash at an enemy, like so, but then we cancel it with a jump. And canceling with a jump allows us to retain the momentum from the charge dash, but cancel the targeting on the enemy in question. So typically speaking, with the way that we'll do that is that we'll bash an enemy above us, in order to get them up above us so that we can charge dash at them and then cancel it and then get the rocket jump. There are a couple other interesting ways that we can get rocket jumps that are beneficial in smaller ways, but for the most part, that's how we do it. We bash an enemy up and then we charge dash at it. So one of the clues that I got there was that the Sunstone is in Grotto, so I'm actually going to go back there. And I'm going to go get that right now. There are only, I think, 3 pickups that I have not checked. 2 of them are right here. And then one of them is in the lower half of Grotto. So we'll see which one's the Sunstone. Not these 2. I'm going to reload because that's faster. Gets me back to the teleporter. Oh, I forgot that it didn't save at the teleporter. Oops. That's okay. So we need the Sunstone. And we have our left side access. And in fact, our left side access is... Oh yeah, I haven't gone through Death Gauntlet. I usually do the Death Gauntlet way earlier. So it could be here. And in fact it is. Okay, cool. So I just need the water vein now, basically, and then I can go and finish the game, I think. There isn't too much that's going to be stopping me. I'll leave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and travel over to Thornfelt Swamp for a couple of reasons. One, there's a few more pickups I can check for resources. But also I want to get the Swamp Teleporter, because the Swamp Teleporter is the closest teleporter to the Ginzo tree, which is what we need the water vein for, because we need to go visit the Bash tree, which is in the Ginzo tree. Yo dog, I heard you like trees, so I got you a tree inside a tree. Alright, this is Wind Restored Area, that's correct, so I can just float on up. The keystone, which is nice. That's about all the keystones I need. Here's one of the other rocket jumps we can do. We can destroy that swarm and then immediately rocket jump off of it. Because some of the miniature swarm buddies end up positioned above us, and that's the one that the rocket jump targets first. And I think with that, I'm just going to go to left side. What do I have? Yeah, I've got 6 trees, which is all the right side trees I have access to. I do not know where the water vein is, so I want to find out where the water vein is, which requires me... The fastest way to do that, and the reason why the whole clue system exists in the first place, is to basically prevent us from having to do like a bunch of full clears. We can go, we can hit our 9 trees, and then we'll have the clues for all the various dungeon keys, and we can go... It's not going to tell us exactly where the dungeon keys are. Oops. I had less health than I figured. But it is going to tell us the biome that they're in. So, for example, it told us the Sunstone was in Moon Grotto, so I knew that I had to go there. It didn't tell me where in Moon Grotto, it just said Moon Grotto. There we go, that's better. I do not have a convenient way to break this floor over to my right. And yeah, speaking of knowledge things, I just want to draw attention to the thing that I just did here real quick. With this wall, you're intended to have climb and charge jump to break it from this side, but I stood just at the top of it, and I was able to get Ori standing on it, and that allowed me to stomp down and break it. And that's the kind of knowledge thing that we talk about when it comes to understanding how the randomizer functions. And Expert will definitely expect me to know how to do that. And Master difficulty, we go up to Master difficulty, would expect me to know even more ridiculous tricks. Like how to double jump off of walls without having wall jump, for example. Yes, that is possible. Push myself a little bit better here to stomp on down. Like this, which is a health saw, which is nice. I'm not checking anything here anymore in Sorrow. I have everything I need. this is going to be tree number 8. And then I'm going to go into Misty. The difference between what you just saw with me going down Sorrel Pass, where I wasn't checking anything, versus I'm going to check everything in Misty on the way to the climb tree, is that Misty is weird. It isn't a static area. It shifts on you and it changes, and it's strange and curious and mysterious, if you will. Anyway, and because of that, it's just faster, basically, to make sure that we check everything on the way through, rather than having to worry about resetting the state of Misty Woods to anything that may have been disappeared as a result of us going past things. So just making sure, because I don't know where the water vein is, it could be here in Misty, just want to make sure that I don't bypass it and end up having to double track and do a bunch of stuff. I do not like having only 4 energy and no charge dash efficiency. So I'm gonna get Ultra Spirit Magnet, which will float anything at all towards me, no matter how far away it is. And so what that's going to allow me to do is things like break this energy crystal and just keep going. And the energy crystal will come to me and refill while I'm standing there. Of course I do, Void. Of course I do. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 4 more pickups to check here in Misty, and then we will hit our 5th pickup, which will end up being our 9th tree, which will give us the clue for the water vein, because that is the only thing we do not have the clue for anymore, so we're guaranteed to get that one. And we have everything else that we need. Whoop! I didn't have a dash, and I thought I did. And the water vein is in Blackroot. Okay. And I have way more than enough ability points. I'm not even slightly worried about this. Well, I might be slightly worried about it. We'll see. Excuse me. Did I check the plants? I did not. Okay, so I'm actually going to change my teleport location. So Blackroot is the area with probably the most stuff that is technically grenade locked. I'm hoping to not have to worry about that. But we'll see. Ability Cell is good, because I would like to go get Ultra Defense if necessary. I don't think it'll be necessary with this health, but it might be. And this is sort of one of the reasons why I was kind of like a little bit thorough over towards the grenade tree towards my left. I checked everything that was there. Because I was hoping to basically avoid this scenario if something important was here. But that's okay. Rando DB Rando, and every experience for the Rando is different. And that is why it is fun. There is a quick kill in this arena that you can do, but I don't have charge jump, and charge jump is sadly required to do the quick kill. That's okay. So we're going to use this Froggy for a little rocket jump, and a bash because I forgot to jump. And that lantern opens up a number of pickups for us. That single lantern hard locks all of this stuff down here. I think my cycle's weird. I might be able... No, I'm totally not making it. Yeah, I took too much damage initially. Okay, it's okay. Wait a second. And go. Oh, I was a little too late. I can just barely see the shadow of the Crusher back here, so I'm just trying to time it based on when it's going to open. Which is right there. And then take this fish for a nice ride. Catch his friend. Oh, I just don't have enough. Do I have enough for Ultra Defense? I do. Okay, so never mind. This isn't a concern. And now I'll be able to damage tank all of this. Ultra Defense basically allows me to take twice as much damage in water. And it was the water vein. Okay. So close, Clean. So close. Alas, you were not playing the seed, therefore clean water was not found. I mean, it might be if it ends up being one of the few pickups remaining that I'm going to hit, but... there is a cutscene trigger there, which I'm standing on, and I accidentally bashed myself into. That's okay. Health is a resource, exactly. That's another reason, especially an expert, because it does expect you to do dangerous swims like that. Not quite that long, but it does expect you to do dangerous swims. Up to 6 points of damage, I believe. It's another reason why, like, when you're playing on the higher difficulties, full clearing an area isn't actually a bad idea. Because you just might very well need resources like that. Like, if I didn't collect the amount of health that I did, I would have needed to go find clean water, or more ability points to make sure I could get ultra defense, or what have you, but... that thoroughness ended up paying off. You like to see. I always get that plant. I didn't have to. But I just like doing that fadeaway throw with the grenade. A lot of fun. Alright. Whoop. Ah. So you don't need bash for this. You can just charge dash and redirect the projectile, and it's more fun. So I like to do that even when I have dash. Except when I screw up like 3 times in a row like that. So I'll just redirect it. If you aim for the very top of that little puzzle block, the dash will end up sinking into it and redirecting it. I didn't see a mini-boss. Manix, did you see a mini-boss?
What's a boss?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I haven't seen a donation. I know I haven't seen that. But you should donate.
Correct. I was trying to do the ghost story thing there, but...
and for any mini bosses to be spotted.
496, that's a lot of time. I do believe that's correct, Lloyd. Alright, so we have all of our trees, as you can see. 10 out of our trees. We have all the dungeon keys. We have used one of them. We need to use another. We don't need to use the Gumon seal. Unfortunately, we will not be going to Canada today. Canada or Nibel. So
I thought that was sweet from Void. Don't you find that's the best feeling when somebody says they play a game because of you?
Right?
Uh-oh.
My heart melted a little bit. Ooh, Baneling. That's a painful Baneling. So, if you ever thought to yourself, man, I really don't like final dungeons, I recommend trying this one easy trick. Doctors will hate you. And that trick is waiting for the cutscene to play, and then reloading the game, and pressing up on the first game, the first frame that the game loads back in. Of course, I talked about it, so this is going to take me like 17 tries. Normally this takes me 2 or 3. Yep. Classic Ori. So, it's weird. The randomizer actually changes the frame that you have to press up on just a little bit in comparison to the base game. It's such an odd thing. There we go. So, yeah, we finished the dungeon. Hey, look at that. All we had to do was press up. Fun. This is the final skate. This is going to be it. We're going to be about 20 minutes ahead. Sorry about that. I tried to buy some time, but the seed just gave everything. Oh, Mega Energy is actually really nice, but that's going to let me do more charge dashes here. And charge dashes are fast. Oh hey, I used Charge Flame. Bet you didn't expect that. Dash, a little float, get the cushion position. I'm going to take this fish. His name is Jeremy. Don't ask why. His name is just Jeremy. And we're going to get him into position, do a rocket jump, charge dash across the cutscene, and hold right for 1 minute and 20 seconds. And that will be the end of it. The frame change is not intentional. It's just a weird interaction of the randomizer. We don't know exactly why that happened, but there's just a little bit of extra lag that's generated that pushes the frame back like 1 or 2 frames. If you do the trick on your first attempt when you reload, it's the same as in the base game. But on reloading, if you don't get it, it pushes it back, which doesn't happen in the main game. It's so weird. But this is the Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Expert Mode. Thank you very much for joining. While I'm holding right here for the last 40 seconds here, just want to shout out the Ori speedrunning community in general. Everybody there is absolutely fantastic. One of the best speedrunning communities I've ever been a part of. Met a lot of really, really high quality people there. It's a beautiful game, beautiful music, beautiful randomizer. It's just overall a fantastic game and speedrun community to be a part of. So if you're interested in running this game, you can go to speedrun.com/Ori_DE, and you'll have some startup resources there for you, as well as a link to the Ori speedrunning Discord. And it's time, 44:59. And everybody there is super welcoming. We have a questions channel for both Blind Forest and Will-O-the-Wisps, if you'd rather give Will-O-the-Wisps a try. People from both communities are very responsive and very helpful for answering any questions that you might have. And if you're interested in the randomizer for Blind Forest, you can go and visit www.orirando.com. And lastly, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't plug the tournament that we have just around the corner, coming up in a week or 2 time, which you will be able to catch at Ori Speedrunning, twitch.tv/Ori Speedrunning. And that is it for me. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for getting the money in to upgrade to Expert. This was a fun showcase to be able to show you some of the speedrun tricks that you can use that are required knowledge in the Expert Randomizer. But if it's daunting to you, please, please, please don't be afraid. We have casual seeds. We even have tutorial seeds that we've developed that will give you little toast notifications at the top, giving you hints and stuff. So we've made this as accessible as possible to new people. So please feel free to join us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Shayfe, and your commentary is excellent, by the way.
Thank you.
I could listen to you all day.
Aww. Big hearts.
Also, you beat your estimate of the normal difficulty, so...
Yeah, I did. I got the power skills. I got the 2 main power skills that I was looking for, Bash and Dash, and those just open up the seed, and I got them early, so... the thing is that I was doing a bunch of normal practice this week, and I was getting really trolly seeds that were going over what my estimate for Expert was. So... Yep. That's just rando for you, you know, it can be pretty volatile.
Yep. And also thank you for filling that short notice.
Of course,
we were
yeah,
supposed to have Beeves, which unfortunately had to back out, but you were right there to help us out, so thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
So don't go anywhere. We do have more games. We're going to take a retro throwback here. We're going to go to an intermission, then we'll be back with some Castlevania Dracula X on the SNES. Don't go anywhere.